Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Time for a fact that makes your brain just go. Now, we clarified that Gen Zers are age 12 to 27. Kenzie is a millennial, just a couple years older than that. Case is a Gen Zer. I'm a Gen Xer.
Coming in hot at 29, me personally.
Yeah, how about it? So this fact says, and a lot of people like my nephew, who's 22, just graduated from U of I, whoop, whoop, looking for a job. Anybody want to hire him? Hit me up.
Anybody want to beat it?
Yeah, he's a great kid, hard worker.
What are his skills? What does he do well?
So he was a history major at U of I. He might get into some legal stuff, like maybe being a paralegal or go to law school or whatever. But he's
So why did he major in history?
Because a lot of times people do that for the research angle of being a lawyer. That it trains you how to do research in history. He loves history though too.
Seems like an extra step.
Well, because you don't really necessarily.
That's not how I operate.
If you're going to go to law, if you're going to be like a lawyer, people don't necessarily always go pre-law in college. They do different kinds of degrees like that. They might be political science,
Really?
but yeah. Because I was going to be as a communication major. I thought of going to law school. If this didn't all work out, it still might not. Might be a little late.
Go turn out to be a lawyer?
Might be a little late to go to law school.
I can see you being a lawyer.
You can't see me?
No. And this is a compliment.
Okay.
I think you're too nice.
Well, listen, you haven't seen me be a pit bull when it comes to cleaning up the kitchen.
A big old pit bull. A big fuzzy guy.
That's right.
I don't think so.
Hey, Judge, come on, man. Let him off.
But we've all been there.
Listen.
He's like, no, we haven't. He stole.
I know they caught the hatchet in his head. But listen, my guy, we all get a little bit upset when parking's
I
tough,
just feel
right?
like you would be like making 40-year-old virgin references, and they'd be like, we're not appreciating it.
They'd love me. They'd laugh. And then maybe they'd give me the cut.
Well, that's every lawyer's goal, is to make everyone laugh.
Yeah. I'd have
That's the main objective.
I'd have the jury in the palm of my hands.
I believe it.
So anyway, Gen Zers are doing interviews, and what they're bringing to an interview, 26%, blew my mind, and no one guessed it right. Kenzie said, what'd you say? A list of demands, kind of.
No, their availability.
Their availability.
I could just see them being like, listen,
Yeah.
I got to be inside for 4 years, so I'm not really into this whole Monday through Friday gist, and I get it.
Case, what do you think it is?
I think it's pepper spray. I think they're so untrustworthy that they're bringing pepper spray to job interviews.
You know what? I think of pepper spray and I just get angry because Riot Fest took my pepper spray last
My
year.
God.
Sorry.
And I'm just really angry about it.
You should carry pepper spray, ladies out there. You should definitely carry
You
it.
know what's annoying though is that when you get to the place that you probably need it, it always gets taken away. So it's like, okay.
So it's not pepper spray.
That's a bummer.
It's not your availability, which sounds amazing. It is their parents.
Nuh-uh.
So
You're lying.
Yeah, huh?
26% of Gen Zers have brought their parents to a job interview. Now, it doesn't say they went in the job interview, but some of
Do
them...
they just need a ride?
Well, no, some of them had their parents come in to the office.
That sucks. That's not good.
So they said they involved their parents in the interview process. 31% of those respondents had a parent accompany them. It's more to the in-person interview, and 29% had them join a virtual interview, meaning they were actually on the screen during a virtual
that just
interview.
Seems insane. Why can't they just sit to the side of you and nobody sees that? Why would you send this to my mom's email also? Like, you didn't even have to admit it.
I'm just... Listen,
That's insane.
I'm not trying to dump on the Gen Zers. I'm just saying I can't imagine trying to hire somebody and then here's my ma. Here's my ma. She's going to make sure everything goes okay here. Don't talk to my son like that. What do you see yourself in 5 years? He's not going to answer that.
Wait, is she your lawyer also?
I don't know. I don't think they'd be mad about that question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Probably still with her, if I had to imagine.
Can I defend Gen Z here?
Yeah, go ahead. You got the floor as a Gen Zer.
Once again, an unnecessary criticism from a generation that has been nothing but unfairly criticized. What they are doing...
Hold on. Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Brian.
What they are doing is saying, hey, if my parents turned out okay, upstanding citizen, raised a fine young person like myself, then shouldn't you hire me, take a chance on me? Because I'm going to turn into that person that happened to join me on this job interview.
What are you, ABBA? Take
Take a chance on me.
Sorry, was slow on the ABBA reference there.
Yeah, Gen Zers don't know who
I
ABBA
don't know
is.
anything.
No, they don't know who ABBA
Your
is.
mom would. That's why she has to come to the interview.
Don't talk about my mother like that.
Now I want Mrs. Case here. Good Lord.
Mrs. Case.
You not know my last name?
It's low.
Okay.
Oh.
Like our expectations of you without your mom here.
71% said their parent was off camera in these Zoom interviews, but 29% they were visible on it. They said it's understandable parents wanting to ensure their child does well in an interview or that the employer is reputable. Oh, listen, I've had all my interviews in
The
radio.
employee is reputable. Like, I don't know about this NBC thing. We'll find out when I get there.
Well, I was going to say every interview I had was in radio, so none of them were reputable.
That's true.
So I think that was pretty much a guarantee. I could write a book on the interviews I've had, the weirdest interviews, being ghosted after them, being the weird demands in them, but I don't understand.
Amen. Imagine if you were a girl. You think you've had weird demands in an interview.
Gee, what were you asked to do, Kenzie, in an
I don't
interview?
know. Let's not talk about it.
So there's this couch over here.
So what we do is we get girls like you a job. They pay $500 to $1,000 a day.
Listen.
I thought I was here to do an
I have a
announcing
job
job.
today, and that's what matters.
This all brings back memories a little bit of Step Brothers with
Amen.
not the parents, but of course they interview as a team.
Mr. Huff, Mr. Jenner is ready for your interview.
Actually, we'll be interviewing as a team. We're here to up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Who's this gentleman sitting behind you?
Hello, Ms. Lady. I'm Bill. I'm Brennan's stepbrother, and I think I might be able to help with the Pan-Pam dilemma.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Pam.
Pam, oh no.
Pam.
Hand.
With an
There's
M.
a D on the end.
There's no D. It's Pam.
It's like calm. That's P-A-N-M.
M.
Yeah.
Two M's.
Two M's.
M.
That was the confusion.
No, there's just one M.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
I want to share an interesting story from over the weekend. This happened Friday after we picked up Harper from daycare, and there's a park nearby. We took her over to this park and let her swing a little bit. It's Friday night. Let her work it all out so when we get home, there won't be this, big energy baby. We'll still want to go to bed, and then we can actually have a little bit of a Friday night at home. Like,
Hey, man, you want to just leave you alone.
yeah, just go to bed. So we're out there, and she's playing, and this other kid comes up, a little bit older kid, and kind of starts playing with her, very intriguing. And me and Megan, I think people who have a kid know you follow them around that playground because they're death traps. Not really. Today they're so nice. They're so spongy, the ground, and there's no sharp edges like metal anywhere.
We still have mulch, which is like if they fall, they're just going to get a stick in their eye, which is the best idea we've ever had as a society.
And what we go to is a spongy ground. And
Oh, that's nice.
anyway, so the dad comes over and sees our kids talking and starts talking to me and Megan. And I just kind of hit it off with this guy. We started talking sports, talking about, the struggles of raising a kid and all this stuff, just life in general.
How much you hate your family? It's just bonded.
And then he kind of walks away, and his kid walks away and goes to the slides. And then me and Megan kind of start packing up Harper, our baby. And I go, I like that guy. She goes, yeah, you guys kind of hit it off. And I go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go over there and ask him for his phone number.
Stop it. Did you really?
Well, you're sitting there, and I said, I'm never going to see this guy again unless we happen to hit the park at the same time. So I walk all the way across. That was a long walk, by the way, all the way across
This
to see
guy
him.
must have meant something to you for you to walk all the way over there.
And I see him, and it was so awkward, Kenzie. It was like I was asking a man out or a woman out. It was like I was just,
Right.
It was so
'Cause
weird.
You've never been stellar at either,
not really.
Yeah.
So I go up to him, and I go, hey. And he goes, hey. There's this awkward silence just sitting there.
Can I help you?
May I help you?
It's like, did he respond to you the same way Billy Corgan did?
He did. We kind of looked at each other, our eyes locked. It was
Yeah.
a very, very nice little moment there, actually. And
Right.
I said, hey, it was really fun talking to you back there a little bit. He goes, yeah, I enjoyed meeting you too. Could have ended there easily. He shook my hand. I think he thought that's where it was going to end.
Yes.
You say that, hey. And then I said,
You're not seeing anyone.
it was this weird moment where I was almost going to say that. And I go, hey, I'd like to hang out again. Perhaps I could have your phone number. You know how weird a question that is for another man? You just meet another man there and just ask that question.
What did he say?
He goes, yeah. He paused.
Right.
Long pause. Felt like years, that pause. And
It felt like years.
And then he was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And he gives me his number, and he says, yeah, shoot me a text so I have your number.
Yeah.
So he didn't want my number. He wanted me to shoot him a text. I thought like maybe he's going like, he's not going to text me, this guy. And
Right now
did.
you're worried you're waiting by your phone.
Yeah. And I did. I texted him. I want to make sure we connected right.
Did he text you back?
So first I just texted like, hey, man, nice meeting you. And he's in my phone now with Steve, who I met in the park. That's his name in my phone.
Steve, who I met in the park?
Yeah. Which is probably a bad day.
That's not good.
And I said like, hey, great meeting you, man. Maybe I'll see you soon. We can hang out. I don't know if you like lunch. I like lunch. Maybe we get together for lunch. And then he sent back just like, K. I don't know.
Hey guys, this relationship isn't going well for you. Said K?
Said K.
That's not good. Don't text him again.
He didn't say okay. He just said K.
K is not good.
K is not good. Okay,
would be fine.
It was the weirdest thing ever.
He has to text you first now.
Yeah, I know. You're right. I can't make that leap again. I already made the leap to get his number.
Text him a picture of your lunch today and be like, still hungry.
What if I text him right now and go like, so what are you doing?
You up?
It is the weirdest thing as an adult to get a new friend is what I'm trying to say here. I don't know if anybody could. I'd love to hear from people at 312-591-8300 that got a new friend as an adult and how you got it and how it went. And I want to hear, because Kenzie's been in a different world as far as having a kid that plays sports too. But I want to hear from that. We're up against it for a second. But 312-591-8300. I want to hear as an adult how you got a new friend. And are they still your good friends now? Like, what happened? Should I reach out to this guy now again after he said K to me? K.
Well, you can't text him again.
I can never do that.
No, you have to. He's got to say something to you now.
So I'm going to wait for him to go like, hey, what's going on?
Oh, yeah, then you can text him again.
I got to wait till then? Damn.
You have to wait till then.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
I was just talking about how over the weekend I met a guy in the park when my kid was playing and his kid came over and started playing with Harper. And just started talking. And at the end of, park, I guess you want to call it that, is end of playing, I went over to him and said, hey, man, can I have your number? I'd like to hang out. Saying it out loud now just sounds so wrong.
It's very odd.
Because I don't meet adult friends. I don't get new adult, good friends. I have this friend group, and then time is limited with everything, and I'm just kind of like, but I want to hang out with that guy again.
Well, you could have used your daughter as a pawn, though. Like, we should get the kids together for a play date.
Well, let me ask you this, because you have kids of two ages. So Harper's 19 months, and this kid was probably 9 years old.
Oh, never mind. I didn't think they were playing together.
Well, Harper was on the slide, and he just kind of came over. Really nice kid, and, helped. Oh, you're going to get through here okay? And,
so they weren't playing. He was, assisting, and she was kind of in the way. She's a toddler.
But she just kind of stared at him, because he was in his way.
Yeah, no, that play date's not going to happen. Never mind.
Yeah, he's going to go on and ride dirt bikes or shoot paintball guns.
No, I don't think he's going to have a play date with her. It's not good.
So that's off the table.
That's
off
a bummer.
The table. Yeah.
No, you're never going to see him again. Never mind.
And so I reached out to him after I got his number, and I texted him and said, hey, great meeting you. Maybe we can hang out sometime. And he just said K. He texted back K. And Kenzie said, if he said okay, you could get back to him again, but you cannot reach out to him again.
He's got to text you first now.
Damn.
Maybe
sucks.
his wife got mad.
So this is like a date. This is I'm dating.
Well, because now you're going to take him away from his family. You guys are going to be hanging out when you guys could be at home helping your wives raise children.
Maybe he has behavioral issues. Every time he goes out with his friends, he gets drunk and does that. It's like, you're not having any more friends. I can't even send you to the park with the kids.
It's like Frank the Tank all of a sudden. He's going to bring out sludge again.
I know.
By the way, did you hear how Kenzie said that? It's exactly probably what his wife sounded like.
I'm a pro. Can't even go to the park.
And also, he's probably got a list of stuff to do around the house.
That he hasn't gotten to.
And she's like, so you're going to hang out with this guy you met at the park instead of working in the family room?
Our floors are half finished, but that's great. I'm happy you had a new friend. We can't walk in the kitchen.
A sinkhole in the kitchen, and you're not fixing that?
It's perfect. No one can use the bathroom, but go out.
God, Kenzie, your tone is on point. It's terrifying.
Didn't it make you kind of feel guilty?
Kinda. Megan encouraged it, though. Megan's like, go get his number.
Because you've even said Megan hangs out with friends and you don't. So Megan's like...
Megan goes out weekly.
You guys are like the live action version of I Love You, Man. Like, she's trying to get you a friend.
Yeah. I know.
She has so many.
A lot of people texting in. Case, what do you got?
224 checked in. They said, if you're over 40, just quit.
Oh, my God.
It's not going to happen.
Woof, that's tough.
That's...
Unless you're single. If you're single and over 40, it's different.
I don't think so. I think that guy means...
you're still out getting wasted.
I think that guy means 40 and you're done. done.
No, you're done.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's too bad.
Carlos texted in and said, I got a new work buddy because we're both degenerate gamblers. We're part of a work gambling text thread.
Oh,
So that's nice.
congrats on your new friend, Carlos.
It's like I suppose a silver lining to the addiction.
that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's fun. They can go together to like the, I don't know, Gamblers Anonymous or whatever.
I didn't see who checked in here, but she said, why don't you just say right now, hey, Steve, if you're listening, call 312-591-8300. Call in and just be a part of the show.
They wrote, hey, if Steve from the park is listening, which makes it funny.
Yeah. And Kenzie asked me during the commercial break, did you tell him what you do? And I said, no. I want him to be a real friend. I told him I was a drywall salesman. I lied to him.
That's right.
I wanted him to not ask me for like Third Eye Blind tickets then later and go, yeah, I'll be your friend. Hey, how about some tickets?
What an ego you have. That you're like, I couldn't tell him what I do because.
Okay, have you ever had that
can't handle the
situation
fame.
where someone asks you for
I don't
tickets?
like to talk about what I do. Oh,
There
yeah,
you go.
people ask me for tickets. I don't like to talk about what I do because it feels like I hate. This sounds, how do I word this correctly? I hate when people get excited about it and then I just feel like a piece of crap. Like I'm not.
Why do you feel like a piece of crap?
Walk me through this.
Because I don't like that. Because I think that a lot comes with like, oh, you're bringing up your job because you think you're better or something. And I'm like, I don't. I don't think I do anything very important. And I don't. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it. Like, if I go to something and people are like, oh, the celebrities. I don't like that. I really, really hate that. I'm like, I'm not important. I'm aware of it. We don't have to make a joke about it. I hate this. I want to go home now. I don't like it.
Well, this is how we're different because I say it everywhere.
I know. Brian's the one who says it. He goes, the celebrities here.
But in this situation, I pulled back because I wanted a real friend here, and I wanted to make sure
Everyone uses you.
I wanted to make sure he liked me for me.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of the ladies out there. Like, I like me for me, just me.
What do you mean, like a lot of the ladies out there?
Because I think women have a tough time when they meet guys, and they, they just think maybe they want me to, relations, go into the bedroom and do things instead of like finding out who I am. I'm a person.
That's something that you've really struggled with. Everyone just tries to use you.
Right.
For your body.
Yeah.
My body is just like a temple.
That's
And
right.
I have to turn down all the time. I used to when I was single.
Well, it's
People
like the Van Halen lady from the street fair this weekend. Everybody wants to use you. Everybody wants a piece.
Got hit on in front of my wife
That's
over the
right.
weekend.
There's a lot to want there. There's a lot of body.
I mean, look at this.
No, I do. I have to every day. I know. Every day.
So just talking about trying to make an adult friend, it's very, very nice to see people checking in on this. Double features Mike, who had a sold-out show over the weekend over there as a Brian and Kenzie house band, has a story. Mike, what's going on?
2011, I met my best friend at a Cubs game. We had a mutual friend, and we had a big group of people, and no one cared. We were all in the bleachers. So we moved up to the very back bleacher, and we were the only ones watching the game. We're like, you want to get drunk? You want to, let's try everything on the menu. We'll try Mai Tais, every type of beer and everything like that. And then, the next day, I'm like a little girl with, my hands on my chin, like, Bill, friend requested me.
I'm sure your wife is really happy to listen to the story where you're like, I met my best friend. You have this romantic story, and it's not her.
Well, good thing I'm not married. So.
Oh, it's the other one?
In case you're not aware, the double features are twins.
Oh, there's two of you.
They are hard to tell apart.
Well, when Mike called up, he's like, I met my best friend as an adult. I go, it's not your brother?
That's also a good call.
I mean, he's all right.
Here.
He's all right?
Oh.
Yeah, we had 9 months to get to know each other.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Yes, I dedicated that song to my new friend I met in the park. Steve, what's
Steve
up,
in the
bud?
park.
Rockabilly Tim texted in, is this song dedicated to Steve? I just told the story about how I met this guy in the park when Harper was playing in the park, my 19-month-old daughter. And after we separated for a while, and I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but I said to Megan, I want to get his number. So I walked that long walk across the park and just said, hey, that was really nice talking to you. Hey, he said, yeah, same. Can I have your number? And then I texted him, it was great meeting you, and he texted back just K. So he changed the number, but I'm not sure. Kenzie says he can't just text K. You got to wait for him to text now.
Well, yeah, if he texted Kay, the ball's in his court.
Yeah.
Kay's pretty pissy. Unless he's Latin and it was like Q-U-E.
What'd you say?
He's just saying, he just is asking you a question, Brian, so let's review that later.
He was not Latin. He was a black guy. So
Okay, there you go.
yeah.
My man.
Well, he could still be Latin if he's, but that's a whole other can of worms for you.
I don't want to go down that wormhole right now.
I'm sure you cannot mentally handle that. I liked Kelly texted it and said, maybe he knew who you were and you lied and he decided you're not a good, honest friend. You blew it.
Wow, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, you're just a
Holy
liar.
cow. Yikes.
You're just a liar.
Maybe. I'm not. I just want him to like me for me. I just don't want to get into what I do for work yet.
Because you don't want to say, I'm Brian from Q101, Brian and Kenzie in the morning, very successful show. And then he goes,
I hope you never say that. I hope you never introduce yourself like
okay.
that.
Actually,
That
I do
is
it all
so
the time.
uncomfortable.
I do it all the time.
Leave my name out of your mouth when you
You
do
should
that.
help promote the show by saying these things, Kenzie. Help promote us.
I think that unpromotes the show. If you walk up and do that to some poor person who's like, well, I'm just your waitress. Would you?
But I think Brian was afraid that he'd be like, oh, well, you obviously know the Riot Fest lineup. Do you want to tell me in advance? Hey, I'm sure you have Twisted Christmas tickets for this year. I heard those shows are getting put together right now. Do you want to just send me those tickets ahead of time? That's what Brian didn't want. He wanted an honest connection with another older man.
And by the way, when I have friends, I like to take care of friends.
Hell yeah, you're a good man.
I take care of friends with as many tickets as I can.
Charitable. That's how I would describe you.
I invite people to the house for Super Bowl parties. I love entertaining. I love that.
I've literally never been to your house.
But I've invited you.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
I invited you to see the baby, and then you didn't come.
Well, that's true. I didn't do that. Also, I canceled my Super Bowl party this year. That's right. We were going to do that. So, we'll get together soon.
Okay.
You, me, and Steve are going to get together.
Steve at the park.
But people checking in, like how you make an adult friend. And Kenzie told me an interesting story about how she made a friend, but then something went awry in this friendship.
Okay, so I went to one of my friends' 50th birthday parties. He threw a huge bash. No, this is pre-COVID, okay?
Yep.
He had a huge party. Like, he rented a venue for it, okay?
Okay.
And I show up, and I had to go without my husband. At the time, he was my boyfriend because he was working, and he was coming later. And I run into a girl. We were both there by ourselves. Her boyfriend, who's now her husband, was also joining later, right? And we were just talking. We started talking to each other because we liked each other's outfits, whatever. So both of our then boyfriends, now husbands, show up. They had known each other for 20 years.
Oh my God.
So we're like, oh, this is my husband, this is my boyfriend, this is my boyfriend. And they're like, oh, hey, what's up?
Hey,
Like,
what's
they're
up, bro?
Yeah, they're like, oh, we've been friends for 20 years. And
I'm going to see you Wednesday, right?
yeah, we're like, it was unbelievable that we randomly became friends, and then our boyfriends, now husbands, had been friends for literally 20 years. So became the perfect double date scenario. Nobody's sacrificing, because normally in the double date, someone's sacrificing. One group is better friends than the other.
Yeah,
right?
so you just like eased into a friendship without any kind of risk or vulnerability.
Yeah, like I didn't have to meet up with his friend's wife to see if we like him, because I always felt like my husband treated me like a golden retriever with his friends. He'd be like, hey, he's got a girlfriend. She's the same age as you. I'm like, what's this, a play date? That's all I have in common with her is like my age. She has brownish black hair, so you guys are obviously going to get along.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. So I was very excited to actually meet a decent person off the bat.
And you guys are good to this day now.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would argue that we're closer than them, and they've known each other for 20 years.
I'm curious if Case, the producer, has made an adult friend. He's 25 years old, and this is a big problem in America. People in Chicago, people are lonely, and you just got to take a chance on being a friend and put yourself out there.
ABBA.
Another ABBA reference for today.
Can I just sing it?
Chance on me.
Wait, 1, 2, 3.
Take a chance on me. I'll put you to the test.
I don't know the rest of the lyrics.
Yeah, I don't know anything after that.
Yeah.
I only actually know that other part.
So, Case, have you?
No, I
Oh, boy,
haven't.
that's
I
too
haven't.
bad.
I'm sorry. Well,
Yes.
you know, I've been with my girlfriend now for 2 years, and she has a lot of friends. None of those friends date. They have the worst selection in guys, so whenever we're around one of those guys, I don't hit it off with them. And then I go to all these concerts, and I go to a lot of punk shows in Chicago, small venues, small clubs. I see the same guys there. I know all the guys, but I'm afraid they're not going to like me. And I don't know how to be like, hey, you were at the show last month at this same exact place at this same exact time. It's crazy you're here again. Do you want to be friends and then go to the one the next month together? That never happens. I'm afraid to initiate anything.
Well, I think saying that you've seen them a bunch, like you can't be like, hey, remember when you were here and here and here? You can't do that. But I think you could create small talk and be like, oh my God, you love band? Like I would play it cool, like, oh, I didn't know you came to all these.
You
Now
want me,
next time, let's
you
go
want me to
together.
start it off? I'm going to be at a concert. I'm going to see a guy that I recognize, that I don't know, but a guy that I've
Yeah.
seen. And my opening line is, hey, you love bands?
Hey, like those guys that are playing? Yeah. Like well, so in fairness, sometimes you go to shows that there's only 3 people. So it actually is a pretty big conversation starter, like to be like, hey, you also like them?
This is what I mean by I see the same guys every month.
Yeah. Why did none of them talk to you either?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because Case is first on everything. He was first on Turnstile, first on Military Gun, all the hardcore bands out there that have risen to big fame.
Let alone Beach Bunny, to name a few.
Case is big on these bands first because he goes 7 nights a week to concerts. So, to Kenzie's point, you're probably the same kind of people at those shows that can go out on a Wednesday night to see a
I can't
hardcore
believe
show.
you guys don't just group hug when you get there.
Hey! Oh! High five. Where are you gonna stand? You gonna stand there? Or am I gonna stand? You
I
can
mean, you
stand
guys jump on each other. You can't talk to each other?
Well, no, we're too busy jumping.
Okay.
there. Jump up, and get down.
Huh.
All right.
So we leave this conversation with Brian not having a friend.
Or should people help me out here and say, I want to text first? After you said K to me, I want to text something first. What do you think I should text him back? And I will. I'll text Steve back. The guy I met in the park who...
But he doesn't want you to text him back because you were okay.
I'm not sure about that. That's your opinion. I value it, but I'm not sure.
You don't value my opinion. Don't
I
lie.
do.
Don't get on
I
the radio
do.
and lie.
I'm not
You know what
lying.
you should do, Brian? You should do a classic male maneuver here. This is gonna reel him in like a fish. Text him tonight. Just say, "You watching the game?" He's not gonna know what game you're talking about, but he's gonna be interested.
Can I text him like a GIF? A GIF?
Well,
like
first
what-
off,
like
the
what?
second you call it a GIF, he's not going to text you back
By
either.
the way, the guy that created GIFs said they should be. It was meant to be pronounced GIF.
Well, too bad.
Everybody ruined it. Just kind of like Chad Kruger from Nickelback. Chad Kruger is how you're supposed to say his name.
Yeah, not Kroger, like
Not
the store.
Kroger.
Oh,
That's
I thought
right.
you meant he also ruined something. I go, what did he ruin?
Yeah. Should I send him
I
that?
like his music.
Well, what gift do you want to send?
How about the Homer
How about
Simpson in the
girl-
bushes?
How about the girl with all the hot dogs getting thrown on her face?
Just out of nowhere?
Wait, what gift is that, Kenzie?
You guys haven't seen the girl with like the million hot dogs getting chucked on her face?
No.
Type it in right now. Like, look at your gifts.
Can you text it? Just text it.
Okay, I'll put it in the group chat. Well, now my husband's gonna be like, "Why'd you send that to them?" Hold on.
But should there be any reason why I'm sending it?
No.
Just send hot dogs thrown on a
I
woman's
think that
face.
you've already ruined the relationship, so let's just try to make it weird now.
It hasn't started. The
We
relationship
threw it.
hasn't started yet.
Because he doesn't want it to. So I think that now we just got to make it as funny as possible.
You know what, Brian? If you go to your gift bar on your text screen and type in hot dog face, it's pretty funny.
Okay,
Oh,
I
I've
just sent
seen
it.
it.
No, I just sent it in the group chat. I just sent it in the group chat.
Yeah,
to
I've
see if
seen it.
You have to send that to him.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
You could also test him just this glazed donut that's dripping. That's kind of funny.
So if we did the hot dogs first and then the glazed donut, he's going to get the
Yeah.
wrong idea.
That's right, because there's a hole there. That's the problem.
Yeah.
What did you guys talk about again?
All kinds of stuff.
Like what?
Sports, life, marriage, kids, Chicago. This is where we
Text
live.
him a gift that represents everything you talked about, like one gift for each subject.
Well, that's the hot dog girl
Yeah, the
face.
hot dog girl.
That's right.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and time to pour one out for someone that, it's a phrase that people use often. They're built different. And we talk about somebody that's just an incredible person, and they're just built different from all of us. And that's what this guy was, and he died over the weekend. Now, this is an astronaut named William Anders. Ring a bell, Kenzie, at all?
No.
Okay. He was on Apollo 8. So Apollo 11 landed on the moon. That was that was Neil Armstrong first time walking on the moon. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. That's what he said. Instead of like, yeah, I'm on the moon, bitches.
He said, "Suck it, Soviets."
Honestly, big miss.
Yeah.
Big miss. It could have been the best shirt ever, but okay.
So William Anders was on Apollo 8, which took off, and it ended up orbiting the moon 10 times. There were 3 people on that mission, and then they turned around and they came back. They didn't land
3
on
times, not like they just got lost. Like, ow, I missed my turn again.
Missed the,
Why
like, you're,
going around 3 times?
like you're at O'Hare, and you can't get to the gate,
No, it's
so
like-
you keep going around.
It's like Like in European Vacation, hey kids, Big Ben, Parliament, and he gets stuck in the roundabout. Like that's what I imagine around the moon. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. Well, this poor guy had to go to the moon, but then not go and land on it because they weren't ready yet. But he's responsible for a picture that every one of us has seen. It's that famous picture of the Earth in the sky, them looking back from the moon. They're on it,
Like
but
a
over
selfie?
it.
What are them looking back? It was a selfie?
Their faces aren't in it, but they're looking back at the Earth. They call it the Earthrise picture.
Oh.
And this is probably one of the most copied and reposted pictures of all time. Besides some Instagram's model's butt somewhere, I don't know, just something like that.
That's nice.
Kenzie, Google Earthrise picture. You'll have seen this. Everybody knows this photo. It's the photo of the moon and the Earth. It's
I just feel like I've seen a lot of pictures of
no,
Earth.
but this one's like a special one.
Oh.
Doesn't sound very special to kids.
Well, you got half the Earth in it.
Yeah. Well, that's
You went all the way up there. You got half the Earth.
well, because the sun, the reflection of the moon was back on the Earth. So half the Earth, has night. So that's the nighttime sky of the Earth.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It makes us remember how small we are.
Yeah.
So tiny.
So this guy was 90 years old, and he died. Now, you might think he died of old age, and 90's a great run by any means. No. This guy died flying a plane by himself, a kind of an experimental plane, just screwing around.
I guess they're not going to sell that plane, huh?
I don't know.
Ugh, experiment didn't go well.
I think Boeing made it.
You're next. Brian's going to be dead tomorrow.
No, because I'm not built like this guy. I would not get up in some small, tiny plane and go do like loops. He was doing a huge loop, and the plane kind of gave out, and he hit the water and exploded, and he died.
Wow.
That's how he died, this guy.
No parachute up in that thing?
Well, there's no way. When you see the video, which I'm trying to find, it's a 30-second video. You can see what happens, and he kind of heads straight down, trying to make a big loop, and then he doesn't get up in time, and he crashes, and he dies.
Oh, that stinks. 90 flying a plane for adventure, though. That's pretty badass.
Right, this guy's not sitting whittling on a porch somewhere on a stick.
Whittling.
You ever heard of whittling?
Yeah, but I think that's not an old activity either. You cut your hand. It's like a whole thing.
I think old people
You
whittle.
have shaky hands when you're old. You can't do that.
Well, what should a 90-year-old guy be? What would be a typical 90-year-old guy thing to do?
I was watching TV.
Yeah, Andy Griffith reruns.
Yes.
Yeah.
MASH.
Yes.
Nope, not this mother effer.
Pat Sajak's farewell episode.
On
Tuned in.
loop. Yep.
Amen.
I watched that Friday.
Yeah.
It made you emotional.
It did. Harper really got emotional
I just don't think
watching
you understand how hard whittling is. I think you just really brush it over. Like, it's so tiny.
Are you thinking of knitting, Brian?
No, I'm thinking of whittling.
No, I think you're thinking of knitting.
No, I'm not.
Whittling's a very sharp knife into wood, and you gotta you think about you're usually on blood thinners by that age because the clots you get a cut, it's over.
Are you trying to tell me
whittle?
I don't know what whittling is?
Explain to me what whittling is.
I don't think you get it.
You take a knife, like a Swiss Army knife,
Yes.
and grab the nearest stick.
Yeah.
And you just start shaving all the stuff off and make a spear out of it.
No, you usually are carving something special, like you whittle like a thing of a fox or something.
I made spears when I whittle. That's what I did.
I love that. Let's go over to Grandpa Brian's house. Be careful of all the spears he's got.
Whittling.
He looks like an Ewok. He's got all these wooden spears at his house.
I mean, then he's gonna trip. He's old. He can't have spears all over the house. And a knife in his pocket.
I don't think you could whittle now, let alone later.
Oh, give
Whittling's
me a
very
stick.
hard. Whittling is super hard.
Give me a stick. I'll show you whittling.
Okay, go get a butter case. Go get the butter knife out of the kitchen.
No,
and
I
we'll
need,
find you a stick.
I need a Swiss Army knife.
You don't have do you have one?
I don't.
Yeah, exactly. I
What
know
a
you
wimp. Doesn't even have a Swiss Army knife.
God, I want a
You
knife.
call yourself a
You
man?
know what? Go down to the conservative talk station down the hallway. I know one of those guys for sure has a Swiss Army knife on him right now. They all wear Carhartts. That just oozes Swiss Army knife.
Can they bring knives in the building?
A Swiss Army knife doesn't count.
The Swiss one is very sophisticated.
It's for helping.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this guy was out here flying around. It was out in Washington, out in Seattle, Washington, and he crashed his plane just because he lived for thrill. He lived for invention.
He crashed his flying machine, some would say.
He certainly did. I'm not going to play that audio right now. I know everybody's dying for it. Everybody's texting me. I'm not going to play it because that would be dishonorable to this man who took one of the greatest pictures of all time, one of the greatest Americans. And at 90, he was still going for it.
I love that.
God.
I do love that. I mean, don't you feel like right now you're not going for it enough just looking at that?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So what are you going to do about that, Brian? How are you
Go
going to take
home and
life?
whittle?
I got to take life by the balls.
I am going to start by whittling today.
Oh.
I'm going to go. First, I'm going to go buy a Swiss Army knife. Where do you buy a Swiss Army knife?
Walmart probably has them.
Okay.
I think you got to go to
Cabela's.
like Gander Mountain.
Yeah,
I don't think those are in
Cabela's,
existence anymore, but Gander Mountain would be my
Fleet
go-to.
Farm.
Tractor Supply.
Dick's Sporting Goods probably has some.
But why
Maybe.
would you do that? That's not the spirit of buying a knife. You don't want to buy a knife at Dick's Sporting Goods. You want to buy it at a masculine place. I don't want to get it next to my T-ball equipment.
Yeah, or your Under Armour like hoodie.
Yeah, exactly. You go to a real man's place if you're going to buy a knife.
Do Cabela's. They have you can also rock climb while you're there to be a fun little afternoon.
Where's the nearest Cabela's?
It's
got to be pretty far. It's got to be pretty far out for me.
Let me look it up. I'll use my maps on my phone because it'll bring up the nearest one.
Okay, do that. Thanks,
23 miles in Hammond.
Okay, I'll go to Hammond. Okay.
Cabela's in Hammond. That's like finding the Holy Grail.
Look how cool this is. Look at the scenery in the middle of the store.
Oh,
you
they
don't
have,
even have to go camping. It already looks like you're there.
There are some Cabela's that have a creek going through it with fish in it.
Yeah, this has fake deer on that creek. This is badass. You have to get your knife here.
My Indiana people, who wants
Can
to meet
you
up at
drive-
Cabela's today?
Can you drive there and buy a knife today? You gotta get it from here.
This is how you make an adult friend, Brian. You go to Cabela's and go to the knife section.
Look at that. There's a waterfall.
Oh.
This is like going on a vacation.
Oh,
There's
this
a
is nice.
waterfall there.
Oh, here's a weird one. If you want a knife, go to AutoZone, apparently. 773 checked in, said they sell knives. I would not have guessed that.
No.
Me either.
Don't they sell
Maybe he just sells knives. He's like, you can buy mine. I'm at AutoZone. I'll sell it to you.
Don't they sell oil?
That's
and
what I thought.
And windshield wipers?
Tires?
Knives?
They're for real men who could only change their own oil so you get a knife while you're there.
You know what? That's actually a good point, because the people that do that still go for it, changing their own oil. I can't do that either.
This is a good follow-up question. Okay, we know where to get a knife. What does AutoZone sell? Is a great question.
We started here.
Accessories.
We started here pouring one out from William Anders, who was a real man, built different, and he passed away crashing his plane at 90 years old over the weekend. And boy, I just really gotten depressed on what I am as a man.
You know, people are arguing with me about which Cabela's is closer, and it's like, you know what? You're not sitting where I'm sitting. Maybe that's just closer to you. They're like, actually, and it's like, well, this is just what the GPS says. That's the closest one. It ranges it by miles.
Yeah, because there is one out in Hoffman Estates or whatever, which
But
is
by
probably
mileage, it's saying that Hammond's closer.
Yeah, we're than
Sorry,
NBC
I don't want
Tower.
to argue with the satellite.
Yeah.
No
Yep.
one else is. We're the only people sitting in this room. I'm just saying. They're like, well, near me. Well, fine. Go pick up Brian a knife near yours.
And that's where we led here. See, we're talking about, I was saying 90-year-old people most of the time they're whittling, and Kenzie and Case believe that no, old people don't whittle because their hands usually are, arthritis.
Too shaky.
Yeah,
They're
arthritis.
on blood thinners. It's very dangerous for a 9-year-old to be whittling.
Why do you keep saying blood thinners? Is every old person on blood thinners?
Most older people, because you're it's very risky for blood clots. So you go on blood thinners, and then that's when you bruise like a peach. And then if you get a paper cut, you got to go to the hospital. It's a whole thing.
Well, you're not going to like this because I bruise easy too without blood thinners.
I know, like a peach.
I have like a banana, like those bananas at Jewel. You just touch my
like the
forearm.
ones at Jewel specifically, or just like a banana?
I just meant I didn't mean. I'm not disparaging Jewel. I'm just saying that bananas that have
like
spots.
those ass bananas
No,
at Jewel.
I didn't mean that. I did not.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.